Manchester City came from behind to beat Southampton 2-1 in the FA Cup semi-final. That game was a very, very interesting football. For 70 minutes or so of the game, Manchester City dominated with 26 shots as against Southampton 4 shots. But it was Southampton who first scored, and the whole atmosphere was engulfed with excitement. It was as if Manchester City was going to lose that game, Jerry.
I didn't see Manchester City losing that game because Manchester City went all out to play that game, being a semi-final of the FA Cup, knowing fully well that they've secured the Carabao Cup and they are out of the Champions League. They have this to fall back to, and they are not too certain about the Premier League, in spite of the fact that yes, they are running toe to toe with Arsenal. The fights between Manchester City and Southampton at Wembley, being a neutral ground, it's like as if when my father used to say, as an elder, if I want to fight a small child in a serious battle, I'll fight him like my mate. Mm-hmm. So that was what Manchester City did that day, and it was a very intense game. And why I say I didn't see Manchester City losing that game is because from the beginning they detected the pace of the game. So detecting the pace of the game is just that they couldn't break the deadlock until Southampton responded first by breaking the deadlock at 78 or 79 minutes. And being the fact that Manchester City have already detected the pace of the game, they have to respond shortly, like 2-3 minutes after Southampton scored. But that Southampton scoring first set the whole stadium ablaze.
It was like Manchester City were going to lose that
game. And I will tell you that Guardiola was under pressure, in spite of the fact that he was having the upper hand in the game, because he really needed that trophy. Though it's not over yet because they are still facing Chelsea, the final match of the game. But it was an intense game.
Yeah, I see Guardiola as someone who is a master tactician, because Manchester City didn't get any goal until Doku came into that game. And immediately Doku came in, it was like you throwing your Arsenal into the game and then trying to get the result. And that paid off.
Yeah, that is why I said they brought in everything they have, and they fought as if it were their mates that they were fighting. Considering the position, Southampton, though Southampton, they are in good form already in their what is it called?
Championship. They played 19 games unbeaten. So and mind you, Jerry, this is the same Southampton that knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup.
It was Arsenal's fault to that game. You understand? For them anyway. I don't want to bother much on that because I know inexperience played a lot of a bigger part on the part of Arteta in that game, because he didn't really plan that game very well for Southampton to beat him out of the FA Cup. But of a truth, that Jeremy Doku you just spoke about now, you see, Jeremy Doku is a machine. He's a tireless machine. And in fact, what is lacking in Jeremy Doku was the partnership with De Bruyne, which he had when he got to Man City, and all of a sudden they took De Bruyne off. You understand? Yes. So having these new guys around, like the likes of Reinders, Cherki, and co. So for him to be able to blend with them now is another big job. But if he eventually blend with them, Jeremy Doku is like a tireless machine that will work, from the first minute down to the 90 minutes without
energy dropping.
The energy level is very high. So I was expecting that Jeremy Doku's impact the moment he was brought on in the game. So
you see, Manchester City is looking like, particularly Guardiola now, is looking like he's chasing the treble, because right now I would say he's the favorite to lift the FA Cup, and also he still stands a very good chance of lifting the Premier League trophy. So do you see Guardiola doing the treble?
Yes, it is possible. Guardiola can do the treble, if not double. Because he will do the double and do treble as well. But that Premier League is doubtful. But the FA Cup, I would say, is a sure, because I had some what do they call them again? Those guys that wear blue. What do they call them?
Those guys they are believing in miracle. They call themselves Chelsea.
Omo FC. Those people, they believe that if they should win the FA Cup, they will have the opportunity to play an European football next season. So that is the shortcut they want to use to get to European football.
And I hear that,
and they are facing Manchester City.
They have been that this is their target.
And you know, if Guardiola want to have a worse season, he should call it. It should be this season.
Yeah,
you understand? It should be this season. But he's lucky enough that he's having Arteta ahead of him. Someone like Arteta. Because if it's not Arteta that is ahead of him, maybe someone like Mourinho, he wouldn't get anything. He will get nothing.
Exactly.
You understand? It's because someone that is like Arteta that is ahead of him. And now Chelsea is saying, okay, we are going to beat Manchester City at the finals in May 16. I said, okay, let's see how that one will.
That's like a camel.
Because for me,
I want to pass through the eye of a needle.
For me, I know the one that is possible between FA Cup and Premier League for Manchester City. If they were to take one, they will possibly take that FA Cup, which is handy now. Because that Premier League, Arteta don't want to give up without a fight. You know, he has failed for several seasons bottling the leagues. According to people, they call him bottle FC.
Bottle FC.
So he has failed several seasons bottling the league. It's not supposed to happen now. You know, remember I said something. For the sake of Declan Rice, for the sake of Gabriel Magalhaes, he should try as much as possible to pick at least the Premier League. You understand? So in view of all this now, going to the final of the English FA Cup, Manchester City should take the day for me, not that other club taking the day. That is what I think, because I don't see how people will be so delusional that you are so abysmal in performance and you are now thinking of coming to lift the FA Cup against a Manchester City side that is not even handling Champions League at the moment, that is even pursuing Premier League at the moment. I don't see it's possible.
Yeah, that Gonzalez goal.
Oh, what that was so thunderous. That was so powerful.
In fact,
it's a highlight of the FA Cup.
Yes, not just the FA Cup. Is a goal contender
for the FA Cup. There are other good goals
across Europe.
There are other goals.
That's a Spanish makeup kind of goal.
You know, I wouldn't say the least, but
that's the kind of goal Sheikh Fabregas used to
yes
light the net those days.
Yes, so that Nico Gonzalez goal, it was even a decider.
Yeah,
understand. Yeah. So that goal was so powerful, and I could give it to them. They were determined to win that game. They have even already detected the pace of the game. I've said that from the beginning. So that was why, as Southampton surprised them with that goal, they say, "What? Oh yeah, now let's go." Before you know,
I thought that game was over when Southampton scored.
No, I knew Manchester City.
Those two quick goals from Man City.
Technically, possession wise and every other wise, Manchester City were in that game. And they showed why they were the English champion in for several years, and they showed that power.
On May 16th, Manchester City versus Chelsea, that will be like a lion and a bear fighting.
I don't even have any teeth to bite. So it was a narrow escape against Leeds. So let us not just hype them too much to say Chelsea. We'll be here. Although football can pull up surprises, but I doubt.
Yes, the ratio is like I doubt 1 to 100.
The gully between them is very wide.
Yes. All right, we'll be here to bring you the post-match analysis of that game, and but let's hear your thoughts. Do you think that Chelsea can spring up a surprise? Do they have what it takes to challenge Man City and clinch the FA Cup? Or do you think that Manchester City will just have a roller coaster day over Chelsea? Leave your comments in the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you can always see interesting videos like this coming your way. All right. Like and share the video too. Corner Flank is here for you.